You're lying in the dark, and your body is done. It's been done for hours. But your mind is running a movie you have already seen 100 times. Tomorrow's conversation, that thing you said 5 years ago, a bill that isn't even due yet. You think you're thinking. You're not. You're rehearsing. There's a difference between those two, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. So tonight, I want to give you that difference, and one thing to do with it. It takes about 2 minutes. You can use it tonight. Thinking has an end. You take a problem, you turn it over, and you arrive somewhere. A decision, a conclusion. Sometimes just an honest, I don't know yet, and that's all right. Thinking moves. It goes somewhere, and then it stops. Rehearsing doesn't stop. Rehearsing is the same scene, over and over. And here's the strange part. It never plays to the end. You never get to the credits. You get to the part where it goes wrong, and then the tape rewinds, and you start again from the top. Here's how you tell them apart. Ask yourself one question. On that last lap around the track, did I learn anything new? Did I decide anything? If the answer is no, you weren't thinking. You were rehearsing. I'm not saying that to make you feel stupid. I'm saying it because you've probably never had a name for it, and it is very hard to stop something you can't name. So why does this happen at night? Why not at 2 in the afternoon? During the day, there are walls. Your job is a wall. Traffic is a wall. Your phone, other people talking, the thing you have to do in 20 minutes. All walls. They don't solve anything. They just stand between you and your own head. At night, the walls come down. The lights go off. Nobody's talking. There's nothing left to do. And your mind finally gets the whole stage to itself. But there's a second thing, and this one matters more. At 3 in the morning, you cannot act. You can't make the call. You can't send the email. You can't knock on the door and say the thing you should have said. Every door is closed, and the mind that can't do something will do the next best thing. It will rehearse it. That's the pattern. Rehearsal shows up exactly where action is impossible. It isn't random. It isn't bad luck. Your mind waits until your hands are tied, and then it hands you a script. Now, let me defend your mind for a second. It isn't broken. It isn't sabotaging you. It's trying to protect you. It's running the disaster in advance, so that when the disaster arrives, you'll be ready. That's a reasonable instinct. It's the same instinct that kept your ancestors alive. The problem isn't the instinct. The problem is the math. Look at what you actually rehearse, what they think of you, how tomorrow will go, what that person meant by that message, whether the thing you already did was a mistake. Every single one of those is outside your hands. Other people's opinions, future events, the past, which is finished and sealed. So you rehearse a scene you don't control, for a play you're not directing, in front of an audience that isn't there. Let me make it concrete. You have an interview tomorrow. You lie there, and you run your opening line 100 times. A word moved here, a pause added there. By 2 in the morning, you finally get it perfect. Then you walk in, and the first thing they ask is something else entirely. The scene you rehearsed all night never happened. It was never going to. You spent the night preparing for a play that isn't the one that's on. You could rehearse for the rest of your life, and that scene will still never run your version. The Stoics noticed this about 2,000 years ago, long before we had a word for anxiety. Epictetus opened his handbook with it. Some things are up to us. Some things are not. That's it. That's the whole opening line. And we hear that today, and it sounds like a fridge magnet. Let go of what you can't control. Thanks. Very helpful. I'll get right on that at 3 a.m. But he didn't mean it as a mood. He meant it as sorting. It isn't a feeling you're supposed to summon. It's an action. You take the pile in your head and you put things into 2 boxes. It's closer to doing the laundry than to enlightenment. And Seneca, writing letters to a friend, put your whole night into 1 line. We suffer more in imagination than in reality. He wasn't being poetic. He was describing you, at 3 in the morning, watching a movie of something that hasn't happened. So here's the thing you can actually do. 5 steps. Nothing to buy. Nothing to download. Step 1. Name it. The moment you notice you're on lap 4 of the same thought, say it quietly to yourself. This is a rehearsal. That's all. Naming it is what turns the autoplay off. You're not fighting the thought, you're labeling it, and a labeled thought loses a lot of its grip. Step 2. 2 columns. In your head works. On paper by the bed works better. On the left, what I can actually move tomorrow. On the right, what I can't. Be honest about the right side. Whether she's still angry goes on the right. Whether I get the job goes on the right. Most of the movie goes on the right. That's the point. Step 3. For the left column, write one action, not the solution, not the whole plan. The first move. Send the email. Ask the question. Book the appointment. And this is why it works. Your mind isn't holding that thought because it enjoys it. It's holding on because it's afraid you'll forget. Writing down the first move tells it something it's been waiting to hear. It's handled. We've got it. You can stand down. You would be surprised how much of that noise is just an alarm nobody ever turned off. Step 4. For the right column, one sentence. This isn't mine to carry. Say it out loud if you're alone. It isn't pretending you don't care. You do care. It's admitting that caring about it at 3 in the morning changes exactly nothing about it. Step 5. It will come back. Of course it will. 10 minutes later, the same scene starts up again. Don't argue with it. And don't get angry at yourself, because that's just a rehearsal about rehearsing. Just say it again. This is a rehearsal. And come back to the weight of your body on the bed, the air going in, the air going out. Some nights you'll do this 5 times. That is not failing. That is the practice. It's a muscle, and the reps are the point. Now notice what this does not do. It does not delete the thought. You can't delete thoughts, and anyone who tells you otherwise is selling something. What it does is change the shape of it. It takes the thing that was running in an infinite loop, and it turns it into a list with an ending. That's the trade. Loops don't close. Lists do. Now let me be straight with you, because you've been promised things before. This will not put you to sleep in 3 minutes. The first time you try it, you might get 5 quiet minutes, and then the whole circus comes back to town. Take the 5 minutes. 5 minutes is a win. You're undoing something your mind has done automatically for years. That doesn't come apart in one night. And one more thing, and I mean this one. This isn't treatment. If it's every night, and the days are coming apart too, that is not a willpower problem, and no philosopher is going to fix it. That's a sign to talk to someone real. Marcus Aurelius had an emperor's problems, and he also had a doctor. You're allowed to have both. So, tonight, the movie will start. It always starts. The lights go down, and there's your scene, ready to run, with all your old lines still in it. You don't have to fight it. You just have to recognize it, and then you get to decide whether you sit through it. Thinking has an end. Rehearsing doesn't. Once you can tell which one you're in, you can call cut. Your mind is going to put on its show tonight. You don't have to buy a ticket. If it helps to have a voice out here on the nights when the house goes quiet, stay on the porch. This is the night porch. Sleep well.